Good. Fold that. Hold this one on top. And then we'll do, so how many folds is that now? We can count them, hopefully they're nice and visible. But there we go, one more lot. All right. And the most important thing now is what toppings are we going to put on. I know that there were some people when you say cheese, it's cream cheese, right? Some berry jam, apple. For those that wanted apple, do I do pieces of apple or do you want me to do like an apple compote? Okay. I think that looks good. So, I'm going to do something a little bit sneaky because I'm just a little bit unsure of the distribution of butter. So, the thing is, all right, with Danishes, with puff pastry, if you are butter conscious, this isn't the recipe for you. Let's just be honest, okay? So I'm just going to grab a bit of butter. I think berry compote would be nice versus chunks. Okay. Will you sweeten the cream cheese? See, I don't usually sweeten the cream cheese because I love the creamy, slightly saltiness of cream cheese, but I can do some if you want. There's hail in Fremantle. Oh no, don't tell me that. I'm enjoying having a little break in the rain at the moment. I feel like this has rained a lot more this year than it did in recent years. You could use mascarpone. I don't have any at the moment. Apple and bacon compote. Oh my God, BCK. Surely, could do a little bit of that. I'm doing really thin slice of butter just to create a little bit of extra butteriness, okay? I just really am wanting to make sure that this has flaky layers, so I'm just gonna have a little bit of extra butter, okay? I just had a nice rumble come through. Well, we got woken up last night at about, I think Exceed said 11 o'clock, because Romeo, our smaller dog, barked, and Chester does not care about noise outside, or he's only learnt to bark at dogs at the dog park across the road from our house because of Romeo. He warns Romeo, but Romeo hates thunder and lightning. Hey, okay, as someone who with the SES, we definitely broke multiple recorded historical levels of rain. Okay. Minso, whereabouts are you located in the country? Okay. All right. I changed my mind. I'm going to take a little bit of butter out of here. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold. Oh, look at that layer of butter. Oh my God. Okay. And we're going to do a little bit of extra butter here. Just because. Okay. This may be the first time I've made Danishes, but it's not the first time I've made puff, like proper puff pastry or croissants or whatever. And butter equals flakiness. Okay. These are definitely, like as Cookie Monster say, this is sometimes food. Okay. Nice. A little bit of extra flour. And we're gonna cut them into squares or circles, and we'll put our fillings, work on our compote. I like the idea of some apple bacon jam. New South Wales, Victorian border, nice. So like a Albury-Wodonga area. It's the only border towns that I know. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. This is looking good. Jealous of the rain? No. You wait until we tell you about summer at the end of the year when it's 40 degrees or 110 Fahrenheit plus, and we complain about the weather, whatever time. We don't like the heat, we don't like the cold. Are you guys summer or winter people? I love the cold weather. I just don't like rain, like heavy rain that it's been raining all the time. But it has been really nice in between the rain, fall, liked it. Okay, so I think that looks good. I'm gonna roll it out a little bit wider. You're a summer girl, autumn person. Yeah, I'm an in-between type of girl. I'm an autumn or fall and spring. My favorite months. Okay. So if you're just joining us, we're making some danishes. So this is our pastry from scratch, layered with butter, a yeasted dough. So I think that's working out pretty good. I haven't done proper measurements, but for autumn, I don't like the cold or the hot. I hate every season. Okie dokie. So what we want now is, I used to have this like a pizza wheel, like a plastic pizza wheel, and it was perfect for cutting dough. Oh, that will do. Let's go with that. And this little thing that I was sent, Roselli, this was sent from you, right? This little rosette Wilton thing. Okay. What we're gonna do, let's go here, and I'm gonna roll this out. I'm gonna trim the edges to make them visible so you can see the layers. And I think we'll go square. Marine layer weather. I think our June were the same. Yeah, rain on my coffee. Yeah, it's been pretty wet and gross. And I want to get to the spring weather so I can trim all the jungle in the backyard and get planting. Good morning, Stace. Okay. I don't know where there it is. Sorry. I was about to say I don't know where my ruler is. Found it. Now, it's time to talk toppings. What toppings are we doing? Let's maybe throw some ideas at me. If you've had a Danish before, what Danish flavor did you like? Ooh, that looks good. Hoping the layers stay nice. Custard and apple Danish. Okay, maybe not the custard, but I do, maybe. I don't feel like making custard, but I can always be persuaded. Not aspic. Sardine, you get this man out of here, please. Okay. Oh, nice, guys. Looks good. Okay, I don't know if the camera's going to be able to see this. Sorry. Can you see the layers? Can you see the layers? Cross our fingers. Pecan pie day. Claws on whiskers. Get out of here with your good ideas. Apricot. I don't have tinned fruit in my house commonly. Ban yourself, Cad. 10-minute timeout. Just cheese is great, but cherry and cheese is probably a fave for me. When you say cheese, you mean like cream cheese? Blueberry jam sounded nice, cool. Are we fans of doing like the jam or the jam with the cream cheese? Like how many people like both of them together? Guava, I think I have guava paste. Possibly. Coconut, what's coconut? Both together, yep. Apricot is my all-time fave. I don't know if I need this many Danishes, but I might freeze some of this dough. I might be sad because we only make a few Danishes, but how's your fridge going? Still full of treats from last week. It's not too bad. The donuts are gone. No, it's actually quite minimal now. There's just one saucepan of meatballs, like a few meatballs left over from yesterday, and a bit of tartare. That's it. Not too bad. A lot more space now. A lot more space for Danishes. Okay, I'm just trimming off the edges because when you see the edges like this, they're crimped over or they're pressured, like there's pressure. So then the layers of butter and it's like the difference here. This is the cut edge. See how the layers are very distinct? And what's gonna happen when there's heat, they're gonna easily puff up and create flakiness. Whereas this side, they're all kind of intertwined and folded. So you're not gonna get a really crispy, flaky edge. And it's going to prevent it from flaking upwards. So then that means it's going to keep it, it's gonna weigh it down, if that makes sense. Like if your edges are tucked under, it's like with, you know, when you're laying in bed and your sheets are tucked under, you can't bring your legs up. It's the same with pastry. We want the legs to go up in the air as easy as possible. It's the only way I could think of explaining it. So we want cut edges on each side. This tool is pretty shit because this isn't for fondant. I need something a bit sharper. Okay. Nice. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. I'll freeze the rest of this dough, I think. It's gonna be really hard to force myself to freeze it, but I don't need that many Danishes. So all I will do is using the cling wrap that we had before, like that. Put this on top like that. Oh, put it this way. Like that. Layer this. There we go. Can have Danishes whenever I want now. Easy. So now the biggest thing is we've got the yeasted dough, because if you remember way back to Monday, we created the dough with yeast. So we need some time for it to rise and puff up. So that gives us the perfect opportunity to make our toppings. Okay. And should pop them on a tray. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool, should be able to 2 trays will be enough. This. We should get onto our tagine as well. We're making apricot chicken tagine, so a Moroccan style apricot chicken. A lot of the Aussies in chat will be like, oh my God, apricot chicken. My mum made that when I was growing up. I'm gonna make you a better variation, a lot more flavorful. There's 2 groups of people that I think. The people that hate butter chicken because their mum made it and they've had enough of it, or they love butter chicken because their mum made it and it reminds them of home. Or I suppose there's the third lot of people that don't even know what it is. I've never made it before. Okay, cool. Who, legs in the air, like you just don't care. Good morning, Iffy. Who has had, you've never had it before? Okay, apricot chicken is amazing. So very common with like Moroccan food is there's sweet element, like sweet savory element. So you've got really delicious savory chicken using fruit. So a lot of Moroccan dishes uses like dates and raisins and things. We're gonna use apricots because they're gonna plump up and they're gonna be slightly sweet, but it's gonna have this really rich sauce. And you can serve it with either rice or couscous. Hubby dislikes fruit with meat. So I don't make apricot chicken too often, but I love it. Nice, I can understand that. Butter chicken is noms. The stuff from cans or packets is yuck. Definitely ruins one's experience when trying it first. Butter chicken, yeah. Have you ever had apricot chicken though? All right, ooh, these are our little guys. Some are a little bit littler than others. But you can just roll them out or flatten them out if you want. Just grabbing them and flattening them out, that should be right. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if the camera picks it up. But look at this. Can you see the layers in there? Come on, focus. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna show you that my mum never made apricot chicken up. You really? Oh my gosh, you're in for a treat. It's something that growing up in the country, my mum would make quite often because it was really cost effective. You would have frozen chicken, canned apricots, French onion soup mix usually, and it was really easy to whip together and you could make it in bulk and it was tasty. But mine is even better. Mine's got ginger and apricots. We're gonna add some mint in there, some pine nuts, and serve it with couscous. It's gonna be good. So, just to test how these turn out, I'm gonna turn the oven on nice and hot. And you can use the offcuts. Just grab your offcuts here. Pop them in the air fryer if you have an air fryer too. Air fryers work a lot quicker because they're smaller. That. Wait for the oven to heat up and then you just cook them in a really hot 200 to 220 degrees Fahrenheit. No, 200 to 220 Celsius, 400 to 440 Fahrenheit. Okay, so we have blueberry jam, cherry jam, cherry conserve, which I've never had before, which I'm gonna try soon. And then the apple. So I thought about making an apple or pear. I've also got a pear. What do you think? Apple or pear? Apple or pear? Some cream cheese. Danish ideas, guys. Cream cheese. apple or pear? We're gonna chop that up. So I've never had cherry jam before. Oh my God, these are really hard to open. You just usually bang them like that. Oh, muscles. That's cherry. This one's wild blueberry. Yes. Oh, these smell amazing. These are a bit more expensive. They're like $6 each. But sometimes you gotta be fancy for chat, you know? Gotta put our fancy boots on. So this one here is blueberry, okay? These are they're just full of the flavor, and like they use whole fruit, whole like juices, and the quality of them is phenomenal in comparison to some of the ones you get from the grocery store. So you can see that the color is purple all the way through, suggesting that it's the juice that is then solidified. Some of the jam or jellies that you get, jelly is different because it's just solidified juice. This has pulp and like chunks of the blueberries, but it's really thick and purple, or this one's going to be red, meaning that it's a whole food product. Okay, so taste. Sometimes jam, because it's so sweet, kind of always, it tastes very similar. I like that. And cherry, this is gonna have larger chunks. The difference between, so you've got jelly, jam, marmalade, conserve. The difference between them is jelly is solidified juice, so there's no pulp in it, and there's sometimes it can be reconstituted. Jelly is like the cheapest to make. Then you've got jam, where it has some juice, and then it might be a puree, or it might be a few bit of chunks. Conserve is like your higher quality, more expensive product, because it's got whole pieces or whole chunks, and the pulp as well as the juice. There's your cherry jelly. Oh, it's a lot more. Oh, I like that. It's a lot more acidic. Nice, real light hit of cherry. Yum. That is good. Thank you, BCK. If we can give BCK a VIP for the day, please. Because BCK, you were the only one that responded to my question about apple and pear. Appreciate it. Okay. So blueberry and cherry. We're gonna put them with some cream cheese. So I'm voting apple only if bacon shows up with it. I'm choosing pear, but I suggest, okay, if you go with pear, some ginger. Okay. Well, ¿por qué no los dos? Possibly. Let's just see. I'm gonna peel the apple. I'm gonna go with a pink lady because I used all the green Granny Smiths yesterday. And we're gonna make some, like, I wouldn't say apple butter, just we're gonna puree some apple, caramelize it slightly. I don't know the exact term because I've never made apple butter, and my understanding apple butter is slow cooked, and we're not gonna do that. So we'll start with apple, and then if we've got time, we might go to pear. Pear and ginger sounds good too. Some like, hello, Jake the Snake. We're talking about it. What's your thoughts? What kind of ideas of Danishes have you had that you've liked? At the moment, we've got blueberry and cherry jam, conserve. Delirium, what type, do you have a specific brand that you buy, or do you just see what's available, like farmers markets and stuff? The other one that I did mention was marmalade. Does anyone not know what marmalade is? Tayton, is that how I say your name? Welcome in. Lovely to have you here. Oh, I do have a Granny Smith. Damn it. Strawberry Danishes, I remember like the Golden Girls episode. Am I the only one that has never seen an episode of Golden Girls? Like a full episode. I've seen little bits, maybe like GIFs or maybe like 1 or 2 second clips. I've never seen an episode. I know who they are. Obviously Betty White, and that's probably the only one I know. Massive Golden Girl fans. Your mum, your grandma, your aunts. I like it. I think it must be maybe an American thing, because I'd never heard of the Golden Girls. Maybe it's just my age. Yes, you are, Molly, but I still want to thank you for being a friend. I want to thank you for being a friend. Who can put your hand up in chat? Let me know who has never seen an episode of Golden Girls. More so if you're Australian or not American. Was it like big in your culture? It's the same that I mentioned on Monday. I'd never heard of Julia Child until I started streaming. Because when I talk about like celebrity chefs or you know, cooks that I look up to, it would be like your Donna Hay, your Nigella, and they wouldn't be big to you guys, I assume. It aired in the 80s. I've never seen an episode. It's Ali. Aussie here have watched Golden Girls. Used to be in the house when I was a littlin, like a youngin. Okay. I don't know about Australia, but I know Golden Girls was huge in the UK. Okay, thanks, Jake. All right, so maybe it's just me living under a rock. Me and Ali just huddled under our rock together. Oh, okay, makes me feel better. Roselli, haven't seen the show until a couple of years ago. So it wasn't big in Puerto Rico as well. How are the family, by the way? Any plans to go visit? I love hearing about getting to know you guys more about different, like, you know, cultural heritage you guys have. If you've lived in a different country, if you're originally, you know, you're living in the UK now, but you're originally from New Zealand or whatever. I love it. You dying to visit? My brother and sister-in-law are in Colombia at the moment. My sister-in-law is Colombian, and I'm trying to convince everyone to go over for Christmas. My grandma was like, let's do a big family trip. But my cousins and auntie and uncle don't want to go. It's sad. But imagine if we go to South America for Christmas. Have some fun streams over there. I'm just using one apple. I'm hoping that this is enough. I don't think it will be, but we're going to just chop it up in a small saucepan. I got 2 saucepans, so we might as well do pair 2. You've convinced me. Chop up the apple, cook it in a little bit of mainly its own liquid. We don't want to add too much water because then we're diluting the flavor. And we're gonna eventually have to evaporate that out and reduce it down to make it really thick, what we want. So it's okay to cook it in its own juices because there's a lot of water content in the apple itself. Julia Child is considered to have made French cuisine accessible to the American public. Yeah, she had a unique voice, I've seen the movie Julie and Julia. Julie and Julia? Yeah, it's a good movie. Pancake 321, what's the order, please? You mean crepes, Ali? Crepes are 3 eggs, 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of flour. Okay. You don't need to really worry about these being fancy. You just need to slice them. The smaller they are, more surface area, faster they cook. Yep. You could add a little bit of sugar or salt in there if you want. But yeah, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I remembered it. I was telling Jay's mum about it the other night because she bought herself a crepe pan. Yeah. I watch other people make crepes and I'm like, oh, it's just so easy to remember 3, 2, 1. The ratios are pretty good. It always comes together and it's a really simple base recipe to get you to make crepes. 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of flour. Easy. Okay. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of water in there, just a tiny little splash. Put this on. Heat. That. These offcuts, remember that I had? I'm going to pop them in the oven. See how they go. Look at that. Now, pear. I go through this where I stage where I really think that I don't like pear, but then you eat it and then you're like, oh my God, why don't I eat this more often? There's just something about it that, I don't know, just not as, I don't know. There's something about it that maybe it's harder to eat. I don't know. There's something about pear that I think that I don't like, but when I eat it, I'm like, oh, these are really good. Okay, so just trim off any skin, top and bottom. Same type of thing. Pears have more sugar content, so they're higher in sugar. So you need to be more cautious of them browning or burning when we make our compote. You want the lower heat, low and slow. Pears are either too hard, too soft, or too... Yeah, I think that's what maybe it is. I think that pears are usually quite mushy and you kind of need to eat them a little bit underripe. Maybe that's it. But yeah, I often have an aversion to apple. But then when I eat one, I'm like, oh, yeah, these are good. I'm a French teacher and every February I tell my students about a La Chandelier, Candlemas in English, which falls on February the 2nd. In French, Candlemas is crepe. I think you mentioned this to us around that time, around January. February, Jake. It sounds familiar, the story. Crepe day. And you make heaps and heaps of crepes? Yeah. So you're a French teacher in... Did you say before you were in the UK? Am I correct in... How many of you guys know a different language? Or more than one language, let's say? You can't say Klingon. Oh, you're in the US? Okay. How many of you guys know more than one language? Okay. Pear. I learned Japanese in high school, mostly forgotten. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku. I know 2. Auslan and English, yes. Ali's actually training to be an interpreter for Auslan, which is like ALS, so American Sign Language. Like English and different languages, there is a Auslan is Australian language, sign language. I don't know how different they are, Ali. You could tell us. How different are they between the languages? If you know any history or anything about ASL. Completely different. Okay. It's interesting. They I don't see why there is a need, but different history and origins. Okay. Oh, I'd like to learn about the history, because you have mentioned about it's customary to learn sign language from a deaf person because it's their culture, it's their history. It's really interesting. I think that I'd like to learn a little bit. ASL tends to use one hand signs from what I understand. Auslan is very two-hand utilization. Okay. Wow. So why one hand compared to two hands? Is that so that you could do you can have one free hand? What, like, that you're doing two things at once, or? All right. So that's our apple. Got to remember, the pear is in the small one, okay? So they can hold their drinks. Specialist appointment soon. I may need to dash. No worries. Okay. The Danishes are puffed up nicely. They're looking pretty good. The offcuts, I mean. Good, okay. This one we've added no water, so I'm gonna one-handed, because they have a one-handed alphabet. Auslan has two-handed alphabet. Yeah, but I wonder why it was like it eventuated into that. Like, did they create the one-handed alphabet or two-handed alphabet for a reason? It's interesting. I have to look into it. Okay, so that is a compote. We're gonna start with, I think, this one. We'll see how this one goes. We'll just start with half of the mixture. Okay. Look at that. Now, they're puffed up. I should let them puff up more, but we'll do 4, okay? I'm impatient. I want to do everything now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll do a slice of cream cheese. I'm thinking, is it usually a paste, like a sweetened cream cheese? Y'all have to tell me, because I've never added Danish. I've never made them and I've never eaten them, so we're learning together, or I'm learning from you guys. The cream cheese that you usually find in a Danish, is it like a slice of cream cheese, or is it like made into a softened paste? Like piped. I'm thinking it might be piped. Which we don't need to do. We don't need to pipe it. But I'm just gonna soften it out of the block. Because my immediate thought, my ideal would be just to slice it and put it on there, but that might not look too presentable. Go into the pantry. 1 month early, on January the 6th, the French, most other Catholic countries celebrate Epiphany, the end of the Christmas season. The traditional French Epiphany dessert is la galette de king cake. I have seen the king cake. Okay. Small figurine, like a little baby, called a bean. Because like Mardi Gras, right? How does Mardi Gras come into Epiphany? Because I know the king cake has a little baby inside it. It was actually a bean traditionally, okay, but nowadays more often a porcelain figure. Whoever finds the bean in their slice is the king or the queen for the day. I like that. Let's go to the pantry. I'm going to soften it, because when I did this yesterday, the result was nice, but the cream cheese, like, it doesn't melt well. Like it softens, but then it stays in its shape and it kind of goes a bit crackly and it's not very pretty. Cool. Mardi Gras king cake has its roots in Epiphany Day. Has to do with the Louisiana French colonial history. Okay. Nice. I don't like cheese Danish, but they look piped. All right, so we'll do some with cheese, some without cheese. Needs a bit more water just to soften it. I think my heat was a bit too high. It's all evaporated. Okay. Now, my experience, the bun is hard, the cream cheese is slab-like. Warm bun, soft cream cheese. Okay. You mean the pastry? Okay. So these are very mini. I maybe regret them being too small. I'm gonna stretch them out a little bit. It's probably going against the yeasted dough and puffing up and having air bubbles, but whatever. It's just our test run, okay? We call it Three Wise King Day in Puerto Rico. It's our Christmas as well. The night before, children will gather grass and put it in a shoebox under their bed. Is that so that the three wise men will have food for their camels? Yeah, I think it's very common. I think that's what my sister-in-law said, that they do something similar in Colombia.
Delicious.
Since 50 months.
I swear I just resubbed.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. 50 months. That is such a long time. Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for being a part of our community. Wow. You guys have just been so incredible. This week has been phenomenal. And knowing that you've been around and choose to be here for 50 months is amazing, Sensei. Wowee! Right, send the kids out to weed the lawn. I like it. Speaking of, Jake, can you please repost that for me? That's okay. All right, so we're just gonna grab some of this cream cheese, like that. So these are testers, okay? Testers. Speaking of prunes, I actually made a chicken tagine last month. I used prunes, dates, apricots, and raisins. Yum! Really went crazy with the fruit because it lent, into the sweetness of the dish. It's really, really great. So this one is blueberry. Like that. And you guys just want a cheese one, right? Is that just cheese on its own? Cherry. Like that. Maybe do a bit of cherry, a bit of blueberry, a bit of cream cheese. Okay. To egg wash or not to egg wash? I had the recipe printed out, but I don't know where it's gone. Oh, damn, why I forgot to take them out. Molly. Okay, they puffed up really nicely, but I forgot to take them out. Egg wash, surely, surely. Okay, so they did puff up really nicely, but for some reason I assumed that I'd already taken them out. They'll look alright. You may not have known this, but Texas is famous for kolache. Yes. Brought over by the Czech immigrants in the 19th and 20th century, they're most often sweet, but they can be savory. They're made their way to Louisiana, and we love them just as much as the Texans. So I have heard of collages. How are they different to Danishes? Because I'd be down to make them for sure. I need to grab something now, forget what I was doing. Oh, egg. If you're here for the first time, welcome in. We are making Danishes, delicious Danishes. And we're talking about toppings. There's 4 here, but I have 2, 4, 9 more. So let me know what flavors you want. Can we get a timer command? I got Google when I remember to set him. You're gonna hit me on the head. A reminder. Okay. So egg wash, just whisk up egg. Is there a bot that you can do with the timer? Like that you guys can control? Okay, so that's apple, and then this is the pear. Still quite firm. This has started to caramelize a little bit more. You can see a bit of brownness coming, which is nice. Turn the heat down a little bit. Hey, it worked. She reads the message in 30 seconds. Pastry filled with fruit preserves. Okay. Chat would be setting timers all stream long. This is true. Some Clash's collage fillings are apple, apricot, strawberry. Savoury ones are cheese and sausage. Sounds good. Okay. So what we're going to do is just go here. And we're just going to do a little bit of egg wash. You just want to egg wash the top. You don't want to egg wash the sides if you can help it. Because then that creates glue and creates the layers that we don't want. The joining of the layers that we don't want. Create a nice shiny layer. There we go. Okay. Hey Google, set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Okay. Ooh. Mmm. Yum. I think it's gonna be good. They're a bit dark, but they're still crunchy. Cross your fingers and your toes. I think they're too small. I think I'm gonna have to bring out the big guns. And you know the pastry that we put in the freezer? I think we might need to use this because they're bigger. See how we go. I've taken them out of the freezer. Okay, any tips for someone who loves to cook but cannot for the life of me bake anything? I think the yeast gods hate me. Depending on what you're cooking, I can give you tips and tricks, like if something specific. Biggest thing, Jack, is measuring your ingredients effectively and efficiently using metric. Grab yourself a set of scales, and that is going to set you up for success because 50 grams will always be 50 grams. 500 grams will always be 500 grams of flour, of yeast, of sugar. It'll always be the same. Whereas my cup of flour will not be the same as your cup of flour ever. Because mine's 250 mils, yours is 240 mils, but it also depends on how much you compress your flour. So like the flour's here, for instance. Let's show you a little bit of cooking science for those that are interested. Okay, set of scales here. And the recipe calls for 1/4 cup, let's go 1/3 cup of flour, okay? And this is if you are wanting to improve your cooking skills and improve your results and have a really, maybe create your own recipes. If you're wanting to make sure the result is the same every time you make it. Sure, I cook in cups sometimes when I can't be bothered, but I know the consistency and the texture, what to look for. And sometimes I don't care if it comes out a bit more moist or a little bit sweeter or whatever. If I'm cooking for someone specifically, I will make sure that if I'm cooking for other people and I want the result to be the best, always use grams. So, for instance, a recipe says 1/3 cup of sugar, okay? 1/3 cup of flour. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop 1/3 cup of flour, right? I've scooped it, just gonna, like that, 1/3 cup. That is 52 grams, okay? That's me scooping it and compressing it, 52 grams. If I was going to do it the correct way, is you grab your scoop like this, you zhuzh up your flour. It just means like you aerate your flour, like that, so it's light and fluffier. And then you scoop and you gently pop into your cup, like that. And then use the back of a spoon or a knife and you tap and swipe, okay? 41 grams. It is a difference of 11 grams from scooping compared to doing it the right, like doing it that way. So it just shows you the difference of how, if you're making bread or you're making a cake, 10 grams of flour can mean huge things when it comes to like a sponge cake or, yeah, it's crazy. And as a lot of people don't realize that you're scooping, you're pressurizing your flour. Like if I do it again, right? Do it the same technique, but I can show you that it's never gonna be exactly the same. So like this, swipe, ready? 38 grams. So if you're worrying and wondering why your cake baking or your baking in general is not as consistent, or you're thinking that you're doing something wrong, it's just small tweaks to your technique that can set you up for success. So using grams in comparison to using cups. In the new website, we've got cups, but we've got metric is the base measurement. You can use cups if you want, but a little disclaimer will pop up and you have to click yes, that you have to acknowledge that, and you have to be aware that these aren't as accurate. They're quicker, they're easier because you can scoop or whatever, but if you're wondering why your cake isn't turning out, if it's flat or it's doughy or it's dry or it's too sweet or whatever, that could be it. Believe it or not, that was super helpful. I hope that was. If you've been in here for a long time, you probably hear me harp on about it all the time and you're a bit over it, but if it helps someone, I'm always happy to go over it. When you weigh, do you sprinkle it in the bowl, into the bowl, or the scale? So when you weigh something, you turn on your scale. So let me go here. Your scale, and so you want to zero it, make sure it's 0. know if you guys can see. You see, 0. And then I put the bowl on, and then I 0 it again. So it's saying that's just a vessel for it to hold whatever I want. So it's a vessel to hold the flour, but now I can add my 45 grams of flour and add that into my bowl or whatever. You know what I mean? So then when I do my next thing, I add that into my large mixing bowl, and then I make sure it's 0, and then I'm just weighing the amount of flour or the amount of that ingredient. Make sense? 11 grams, I only have 2 grams and 4 great grams. Okay, like that. It's looking good. What we're gonna do is get our immersion blender, and we're gonna blend these until they're like a paste. Ooh, the things are looking good. They are definitely too small. They aren't kind of fluffing up on the sides as much as I wanted them to. Okay, blender. Stick blender, keep here. Oh, that way. While we're waiting for the items to cook, we could play the trailer for the new people. Yes, good idea. So there might be some of you that are new to the stream and here for the first time. So introduction to who we are and what we do. So my name is Molly, my husband is Exceed, and together we create Miss Molly Makes, which is the cooking stream. And we make simply delicious food. I am a home cook, and I want to teach you how to set you up for success in your own kitchen. And as a part of Twitch, we recreate different food items from games, TV shows, and movies. So behind me, you can see the green screen. It cycles through different collaborations we've done. Hello, is the Wiz, welcome in. So this is a bit about us, who we are, and what we do. There you go. I took a bit of the pastry. I thought I would be able to chew it and swallow it before the trailer ended. And now I've been caught red-handed. So yeah, welcome to the stream. So the slogan of the stream is food, fun, and fumbles. We do a little bit of home-style cooking. As I said, I'm not a professional chef. I like to do home-styled, family-style meals. Hey Google, stop. The focus of the channel is stop. There we go. The focus of the channel is having fun in the kitchen and, you know, making mistakes, failing forward, learning from it and having fun. And we like to have, be as interactive as possible, and you can see the different camera angles and see what I'm doing. Cheeky Jarvis. Okay, that's not gonna reach there. If you're just joining us, if you didn't know, I'm guessing there's a few more people in the stream than usual that are lurking and coming in. We are being highlighted as part of Twitch Australia Creative Week. So we're a creative channel. Hoping my food looks creative. And as food and, as a food and drink streamer, we're being highlighted today and Friday on the front page. So hopefully we can welcome in some new viewers. Good of you. What dough you make with the Danishes? We made like that's the wrong. We made like a puff pastry style dough. So it's a laminated yeasted dough that we've rolled out. And you can see that here. So this is our pastry. These nice. I don't know if this camera you can see the layers. Not as much. And we've got some in the oven as a test. The recipe that I'm following is from Brown Eyed Baker, or Brown Eyed Baker, the recipe. It's linked in Discord if you want to check it out. We've got some cherry conserve or cherry jam, blueberry jam, cream cheese, and now we're making some apple and some apple and pear kind of puree to go on top as well. So here, I just got an immersion blender, or hand blender, sorry. And basically I just want to chop this up. We're going to continue cooking it so it caramelizes. I am not a nurse anymore. Well, I'm a qualified nurse, but streaming is my full-time job. So I am a streamer, recipe creator, soon to be food blogger. We're creating like a food blog website full of like food science and tips and tricks. But I still have my qualification. Pre-hospital care. Oh, interesting. So what's involved? So that like in pre-hospital care, like admissions. Very nice. Very, very important role. Incredibly important. You know, answering questions, of setting patients' mind at ease. This bowl. The saucepan's a bit bigger than the other one. It's a bit harder to blend it. There we go. This is like baby food, basically. Yum. Over here. All right, I think we're ready to come out. Mush, mush. Okay, this is trial number 1, okay? Trial number 1. So they're too small, but the layers are there. Oh no, look at the layers. You can't even see anything. Hold on. Just spin this around. Definitely too small. And I think we need to roll them out bigger. Look at that. Look at those layers. Look pretty good though. But they need to be a lot bigger because the filling spread and it didn't have as much border as I was expecting. But look at those layers. That one and oh my goodness. Nice. The jam is like molten hot. What do you think? Snowballs, yeah. That hit the stream deck. What do you think, guys? They look all right? I need a review. What do we think? They look good? Lava Danishes, I'd eat 10 out of 10. Thanks. Okay, so pear, we said ginger. I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger to the pear, add a little bit of sweetness. But you also wanna make sure when you're adding sweetness, you also wanna balance it out with a bit of acidity. So we're gonna add some lemon juice, some ginger to the pear. Do you guys really want bacon with the apple? Was that just a troll comment? Okay. So here, to this guy, a bit of ginger. Oh, it is like thunder and lightning outside. Ali San in chat said that we're, oh, that's good with the ginger. We're gonna get some hail maybe. Hopefully no power outages, because that would make me sad. It doesn't sound like a troll. So are we doing a little bit of sweetness? Just with the pear, a little bit of lemon juice. Nice suggestion. All right, I'll get some bacon out. Do we want plain apple as well? This is good. Wow, that is yummy. Oh, that is nice. I'm a big fan of pear cider and ginger beer, so it kind of tastes like that. And bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Should we try a Danish? Which one shall we try? I think this one. Oh, it's hot. Like a sunrise. Look at those layers. I'm pretty happy with those layers. Oh. Nice flakiness. It's really hot. I think maybe the dough needs longer to proof to create so that it holds onto the butter a little bit more. It's really yum. It's really hard to, maybe a little bit longer baking at a lower temperature, because you've got the nice layers, but if you look underneath this bit here, the layers, they haven't like been fully cooked. So I think at a lower temperature, it'll be a bit crunchier. You'll still get the separation of the layers. Look at that. Wow, really definite layers. And then we've got the cream cheese, which is really nice. The cream cheese balances the sweetness, which I'm a big fan of. Like the pear with some aged cheddar. I feel like we're just gone off on a tangent. We're making fancy Danishes now. I don't think you guys are unhappy about that. Yum. Bring on the fancy Danish, okay. This is just frozen bacon. I'm just trying to break some up so we can pan fry it, crisp it up, and then mix it with some some apple. It's really cold. Okay. Didn't know you could freeze bacon. You can. It does, like when you change anything, when you freeze anything, sorry, it changes the molecular structure slightly. So it's never gonna be as good as fresh. But yes, you can freeze it. Because what happens is the water content in anything, when it freezes, the ice crystals then break through the cell membrane and like you burst the cells from, I'm not a food scientist, but this is what I know, is it creates ice crystals. Ice crystals burst open out of the cell, so the water content in the cell like ruptures the cell membrane. So then when you defrost it, that's why there's a lot of water content, because the water has like broken through the cells and been released. So then it changes the structure with some meats. It's not going to have the same like texture and consistency. Cakes and things, some stuff it doesn't really change too much. Milk, it makes milk really gross, and it kind of like curdles the milk, just like it separates. Yeah. It will never be crispy because it releases a lot of water. Yep. But it saves waste. That's it. Yeah. You can get it crispy if you basically fry the shit out of it. Yeah. Okay. We've got apple, caramelized pear. Now bacon. Just this guy. And so this is not my usual bacon, but it's more or less streaky bacon. It's like when you buy berries, you freeze berries, they release a lot of their moisture and their juices. Sometimes, like I personally prefer frozen raspberries, for instance, a lot more than fresh raspberries, because they release a lot of their flavor, and they just have a better texture and for cooking, and they taste a lot nicer. Because they're also they're picked and frozen at their peak freshness. So sometimes when you get them in the grocery store, they're either sometimes a little bit underripe, sometimes a bit overripe, they're mushy. And so with baking, I always buy frozen because they're always a lot cheaper as well. Okay, need this last bit of Danish. So a really common thing is that people think that frozen isn't as good as fresh. Sometimes it's better for you, because by the time it gets from the farmer to then the grocery store to then your house, the fresh berries or the fresh mushrooms or vegetables can be like a week old, or like at least 2 to 3 days old. So the nutritional value deteriorates as soon as it comes off the plant. Where a berry or peas, have come from the farmer. They've been flash frozen as soon as possible within maybe a few hours of being picked. And so they're peak, peak seasonal veggies that have been frozen, and they've got, huge amount of nutritional value to them. This is my bacon. We are making Danishes. We're working on our apple bacon Danish right now. Welcome in. And we need to make our tagine because it's meant to be slow cooking already. Oh, we got time, don't we, chat? Okay. So these are the Danishes we've made already, the little mini guys. Which one would you choose? Cherry blueberry cheese, or cheese? Which one is your fan favorite? Pepper T says cherry, Metallic Cane says cheese, cherry and then cheese, okay? Not cherry and cheese? Can I have one of each? You can. ¿Por qué no los tres? Okay. Is our bacon? Actually, apple with cheese. Okay. We're about to roll out and prepare our next batch. I'm just adding some extra oil to help this go crispy. Because like Delirium said, if you didn't add oil, it's hard to crisp it up. Right, that's pretty good. Getting there. Apple with cheese, okay. Let me just try the cheese on its own. The cherry compote looks amazing. It's pretty good, hey, because they've got like 2 big whole cherries there. They're bite-sized, they're little tiny tuckers. Look at those layers. Pretty happy with them. Look at that. Guys, we did good. We did good. You know what I didn't do good is because I didn't cut this edge. That's a rolled edge. Should not have had that. I don't like cooked cherries, but I love fresh ones. Okay. I love fresh strawberries. I don't like cooked ones. Oh, the plain cheese is good. Okay, crispy bit of bacon. Make sure it doesn't spat you in the face. Cover your eyes, guys. Okay. The plain cheese is delicious because I'm not a huge sweet person. I love sweet savory, but the creaminess of the cream cheese, the saltiness of it as well, with this buttery pastry is amazing. This one I didn't roll out too much, so it's flaky on the outside and it's nice and like pillowy inside. It's a bit fatter. I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy. Yum. Okay. So apple, bacon on its own or with cream cheese. Hello, Blue. Okay. Just trying to stretch these out because they need to be wider. That might be too fat. Okay, this is test number 2. Ingredient número dos. No cheese. So apple, bacon, no cheese. Can I use pasta double O flour? Yeah, if it's not going to make too much of a difference. It's going to be like a finer, yeah. Might be a bit chewier. It won't be too much of a difference. Okay, I'm just rolling out these other ones a bit wider and letting them proof again. Whoop. Alrighty tidy. So we're gonna go with I think I'll grab some of that cheese, like I said, the aged cheddar. I have quince paste, I don't have guava paste. Oh, do you think some halloumi would be good? Oh, that would be tasty, I think. If I had dulce de leche, I'm just looking what I have in the fridge. Tasty cheese. Okay. So we're gonna go with a bit of this cheddar there. And then this one here is what did I say this one was? Pear. Pear and cheddar. We'll do pear on its own. Bit of pear. There. Okay. This one's apple. And then we'll do some apple bacon. I can't believe I'm doing apple bacon. Are we suspecting it's going to be good or weird? I put this on an angle so it sits and just drains some of the oil. We're going to put some of that bacon in there. How much bacon? Like, more? So the salty flavor from the bacon is going to be paired with the nice sweetness of the apple. It's not going to look as nice because you've got those crispy brown bits from the bacon, but I think it's going to be a nice flavor. Okay. There we go. And then apple with some cream cheese, I think. Like that. Pair with some cream cheese. I think we'll do one more. I pulled out, I said to you guys before that I wasn't gonna use this and I was gonna put it back in the freezer, and I did, but I feel like we need more variations and larger pieces of Danish. So I'm gonna bring these back out. These have, the layers in there are so good. Okay. You had some hailstones? Hey. Didn't get any here. Thank goodness. Okay. So, cream cheese. That. And I got to turn the heat down. Remember I said that I want to turn the temperature down a little bit. Okay. That's cream cheese. What should we do with cream cheese? I think I'm going to do a bigger. I just want a cream cheese one, but I think I'll do another cherry. You only need a very, very small amount. Finally, so this is bacon and apple and cream cheese, pear and cream cheese, pear and cheddar. Okay. I'm really keen to do an apple, bacon and cheddar. Strawberry wood, yeah. I don't have any fresh strawberries. I only have a bit of strawberry jam, I think in the pantry. But this one's cherry, which is nice acidity. Cool. Are you ready to go? Ready to go again, chat? Let's go. So I'm putting on 180 degrees. Let's go. Yeah, 180, fan forced, so that 200, okay? And we got these ones to go. So, cheddar, bacon, apple jam, that, maybe more cheddar. And I want it to go underneath because I don't want it to burn and melt too much until the rest has. I want more cream cheese. I need to go and get more because put it back. Oh, I got okay, I got some fried chicken from last night. This Nashville hot chicken. Do you think that would be good? A savory one? Look at this leftover chicken. More cream cheese. I'm not melting it this time. Can't bother. Okay. I've realised I definitely like the cream cheese addition better than just the jam. It just adds some more the creamy, salty, kind of acidic flavor from the sour cream is so good. And I've got some chopped up chicken here. We'll do some on its own and then some with cream cheese. Nice little use of leftovers. That's so crazy, it might just work. Could you think of anything better? We're always going some crazy, wacky, weird things in here. Okay. Lunch Danishes, yeah. I think that might just be the crumbs. So I'm gonna add some actual chicken into that. Okay, these are gonna let sit and proof a little bit longer because of the yeast in them, but I think they're gonna be good. I have so much faith in the chicken one that I'm gonna add another one. Because one for me and maybe one for Exceed if it's well behaved. Do plain cheese ones. Done some jam ones already. Bacon. Cool. I think that's good. What do you think? Timer? Yes. Hey Google, set timer for 10 minutes. Good one. Definitely needs like more of a stack, and they need to be higher so they've got more overflow on around. Does that make sense? Like they get enveloped. This is the last little bit of dough, but I'm putting it in the freezer. Cool. Or the pear one isn't going very well. It's kind of sliding off, but they do look really good. We'll let them proof for a little bit longer. Okay, tagine time. Who's having bets? What's going to be the best? I have to put the egg wash on that one. Because I know if I don't do it now, I'll forget it. I'm just doing it off stream. Sorry. You can't see me. Who thought that? You know, they're so easy. Making Danishes is so simple. It's just a 2-day process. Well, we did start them on Monday, so that's 2 days, right? Okay. Now, the best thing about this, Miss Molly Silicone Mat, bang, picks up everything. Clean bench, mostly. Everything that was on the bench, on the mat, is clean. Just gonna clean to the side. Cool. Let's get into it. Let's get down to business. So we're gonna need harissa. So I don't have a harissa spice mix, so I bought one. This is harissa. Hey Google, what is harissa?
According to Wikipedia, harissa is a hot chili pepper paste native to the Maghreb. The main ingredients are roasted red peppers, baklati peppers, spices and herbs such as garlic paste, caraway seeds, coriander seeds, cumin and olive oil to carry the oil-soluble flavors. Rose harissa, made with rose petals, is also made.
Nice. So I don't have any of that, so I bought a harissa powder from Master Foods. We're gonna need cumin, turmeric, and cinnamon. Cinnamon, I think that's cumin. And turmeric is here. Bang. We need to get onion. Ginger is already out. Garlic is there. Apricots, raisins, carrots, tomato paste. So lemon juice is there as well. Okie dokie. So chicken. Using chicken thighs because they're so much prettier to look at. Promise you, very, very pretty to look at. They've got a bone in them, which is a bit annoying, but I can show you how to debone them. Has anyone ever wanted to know how to debone a chicken thigh? Okay. Tomato paste as well. Tomato paste. Get all your ingredients out, makes it easier to work with. We're gonna go need some raisins and some apricots. Okay, I don't often use dried fruit, so I have the apricots here because I bought them specifically for the stream, but assorted dried fruit containers up there. Chopstick. My stepladder is right there, but can't bother getting it. Okay. So raisins, aka sultanas. Well, they're not also known as, they're very similar. Raisins and sultanas are slightly different. One uses, if I am correct, sultanas uses acid to break down. I'll check. And then we're gonna serve this with couscous or rice. What would you prefer? Do you wanna serve it with rice or a tasty couscous? Rice we'll do in the pressure cooker. Couscous, we will, it's so easy, just do it with boiling water from the kettle. Couscous, okay. Onion, cool. It's a bit dodgy. Used to. Cool. Couscous, thank you for letting me know. Okay, so sultanas. Hey Google, what's the difference between sultanas and raisins?
On the website healthline.com, they say, raisins are made from a range of grape varieties. They are dried naturally and are usually the largest of the three. Sultanas are made from seedless green grapes.
Yeah, they're green grapes, but I'm pretty sure there's a difference in how they're like cultivated, like the drying process is different. But he's not going to say, I don't want to confuse you. But yeah, you can basically use them interchangeably. I never use jasmine rice, BCK. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Basmati all the way. Basmati is, from what I've learnt, and it's less floral, but it's also healthier for you of the white rices because it's lower GI, so your energy release is like a gradual. So that's, but I just buy just one variety. Couscous is there. Now, I'm gonna get all this mess out of the way with our apple, bacon stuff. These are looking so much better from being like larger. Really, really good idea. Thumbs up, everyone. I'm gonna put these ones in now. Because I can. So, just making sure we've got everything. Salt, harissa, cumin, turmeric, cinnamon, ginger. Yep. Chicken thighs, apricots, chicken stock. I think I'm out of chicken stock. I'll have to use mushroom. More surface area for the cooking. Yeah, need more space. Okay, so I don't have, I was saying before, I don't have one of those fancy tagine, so we're just showing you how to make it at home easier. I'm partial to the aroma of jasmine. I getcha. I'm gonna tell you that I am the furthest thing from a rice aficionado. Up until we started streaming, for a long time when we started streaming, I felt uncomfortable making rice, plain rice. I think of myself as a pretty good cook, but there's something about cooking rice for such a long time. I'm much better now and I'm very confident making rice, but I hated and I would screw up cooking plain rice. And I would use just plain long grain rice. I didn't care about the different flavor profiles and different varieties. Obviously you use sushi rice and a bori or whatever, but talking about plain rice to go with a dish, I hated it. I would boil the rice in water and then I would strain it or sometimes rinse it because I just didn't know how to do it properly. So now I just cook in the pressure cooker, but if you want to learn how to make delicious white rice or, flavored rice, first things first, we'll teach you how to do it perfectly. Adding my tip and trick is always to add stock powder, whether it be mushroom, vegetable, chicken, beef, adds a lot of flavor. Anytime you have a side dish, the side dish has to be flavorful in itself to then accompany, oh my God, I just hiccuped, to then accompany your main dish. So like the couscous that I'm gonna make today to go along with the tagine is gonna be really flavorful, it's gonna be really yummy. You could eat it by itself, but it's gonna accompany and really boost the tagine as well. So adding chicken stock or salt, seasonings to your rice, to your couscous is the way to go, okay? Lemon juice, tomato paste, cumin, cinnamon, harissa. I need to get some fresh mint. And later on we're gonna grab some pine nuts, okay? So, this here is it's got a French style pan. It's cast iron. Just picked it up from Aldi. It was like 40 bucks, 40, 50 bucks. Just has a lid, nice heavy fitting lid. And what's gonna happen, the difference with this, well, the same situation with the lid compared to a tagine, which is like a pot lid that goes up like a cone, is the steam is going to rise and then it's going to fall and it's going to push down, it's going to rise and then it's going to not be able to evaporate, so it's going to then drip down and add moisture to the dish. So it's keeping it nice and moist. You can do it in a slow cooker, you can do it in the pressure cooker, this recipe, it's super yum. I don't have a tagine, so we're just using something with a lid, okay? So take the lid off because we're going to need that for now. And I'm going to grab our chicken thighs here. All I want is a bowl. Excuse me. Jasmine, my second favorite. Who's your first favorite? Say Molly. I get a little bit conscious of, I want to get your opinion on the Disney princess thing. Because growing up, I loved Mulan and I loved Pocahontas, right? But then I understand, like, there's some cultural stuff. Leia is a Disney, no way is Leia a Disney princess. No way. Am I okay to like, more like, because I know that the movies, like in retrospect, the movies got it like weren't like culturally right? Okay, chicken thighs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 or 5. No, this one's on its own. Do we do one more? 6. 6 little chickens. I heard that there's, and I want to educate myself because I want to learn, I want to know, but like cultural appropriation or some aspect of Mulan and Pocahontas that, for me, as a young female growing up in the country, I loved them because they were like strong female characters, and I think their movies were really great. But that's also always like, you know, to young minds. It wasn't very educational. I didn't know any better. Just love the strong women. Yeah. Okay, so then we've got some cumin, like this. I'm dead to you. Metallocane, take that back. All right. So we've got some cumin. So it says half a teaspoon and I put about 1 tablespoon. but whatever. Go hard, go home. Harissa, we're gonna add harissa, we're gonna add a teaspoon. Okay. Like that. What sort of Danish is this? Disney bought Miramax, therefore Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction is kind of a Disney princess by association. Oh damn. Oh shit. Hey Google, how long on my timer? Hey Google. Hey Google, how long on my timer?
It looks like you don't have any timer set at the moment.
We set a timer. Didn't I set a timer? Hey Google, do I have any alarms?
No, you don't have any alarms.
I hate when he does this. He does it often. All right, hey Google, set timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, and that's starting now.
Okay, Chester's here. You'll heard Google say that. Okay, we're adding cinnamon, half a teaspoon. And turmeric, okay? Beautiful anti-inflammatory turmeric, yellow turmeric. Okay, cool. Most importantly, salt. Salt it. Like that. Lovely. I bought harissa on a whim once for an Elder Scrolls recreation and I love it, excited to see what I can do with it. Yes, if this recipe comes out the way that I want it to, in this version, because I usually make it in a slow cooker. So I'm gonna probably put it on the website if it works out. Okay, so oil, a little bit of oil just to help this kind of spice mix. Half a tablespoon. And like that. You wanna mix it in. I don't really wanna mix it because I don't have to wash my hands. So you put gloves on. Blip, 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 blip. I have a white dog stalking me because he can smell the chicken. Okay. So you're gonna massage it like that. You can let this sit overnight, or at least for a few hours. On the skin, not so much. You want to put it on the meat. Okay. Hello, Chester. Can you see his nose? Hello, guys. Hey, Google, stop. Damn it. I need to get the things out now. Okay. Ready? Are you ready, Chester, for the Danishes? Oh, I still think they need longer though. Hey Google, set timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
We can just go back to this for a little bit longer. I should have got a bigger bowl. So this is 6 chicken thighs. I had prepared to use 3. So I was gonna make a lot less because we don't need a lot of food, but I'm gonna freeze some because I cook so often, but I never freeze food, which I wanna get better at because then sometimes I can't be bothered cooking and it's nice to have food in the freezer. How many of you guys are prepared and organized like that? Okay, that is your spice mix. That. Bin. Cover it, set it aside until we're ready. Okay. How brown do we want them? Yeah, they're nearly ready. So what you're expecting to come out right now is apple bacon jam Danish, a pear and cheddar Danish. Pear and apple. No, pear and cheese, apple and cheese, and a cherry and cheese, I think. Freeze a lot of my meals. I don't want too much at once. Yeah, it's fair enough. But we always say that we have so much food in the fridge and freezer. A lot of it's usually sweet stuff. Because as much as Exceed and I like a little bit of dessert or a little bit of sweet stuff, I love to bake. I love to bake and make a lot of sweet, like cakes and desserts. I don't really like to eat it. And then so we have them in the fridge and then you feel like you have to eat it. Like you have to have it for breakfast. Like we had tiramisu for like 5 days, which is not recommended. You should have like tiramisu within 2 to 3 days usually. But because we had so much other stuff, the tiramisu was in the fridge for 5 days and we had it for breakfast twice. It was really bad. Okay, hey Google, how long on my timer?
T-minus 34 seconds.
34 seconds, Jess. You're pretty. He's a pretty dog. I look like I'm a crazy person talking to a ghost, but there is a white dog sitting here on the mat. Look at that. Nice. What do you think? How'd we go? Stop. How'd we go? What do you think, Chew? Look pretty good. Nice, lovely layers. That is Chuba. Chuba chorizo. Chester. Boop, just note. Okay, so I give you apple bacon jam. For my first time making Danishes, I'm pretty happy. Pear, this one fell over a little bit. This one's pear and cream cheese. This one's apple and cream cheese. This is pear and cheddar. You can see the cheddar cheese is kind of bubbled up there. And this one here is cherry and cream cheese. What do we think? For those that have eaten Danishes, do they look all right? You don't have to tell me. You could say, what do you recommend me do differently next time? Oh, it's so hot. Great color on this batch, thank you. Okay. Poor Chester, don't you poor Chester. This dog is high maintenance. He doesn't eat his dinner, but then he'll eat like a whole chicken if I give it to him. Like he's just so picky. Look at that. I am pretty chuffed. I hope you guys are too. I've got a few more in the fridge. In the fridge. In the oven. Hey Chef 109, welcome in. My first time making Danishes. Look at that flaky pastry, guys. Woo! Damn. Look at that. Hello. So, I'll go through them again. We've got more in, oh, there we go. We've got more in the oven. So this one here is ginger, pear and cheddar. So we made a ginger pear compote. This one's apple and pear, no, apple and cream cheese. That one's pear and cream cheese. Apple compote with bacon, crispy bacon. This one is plain cherry. Cherry and cream, blueberry and cream cheese, I think, or cherry and cream cheese, I'm not sure. And this one is cherry and cream cheese. The ones that we have in the oven are, let me bob down and see what I can. We've got plain cheddar, plain cream cheese times 2. We've got fried chicken and cream cheese times 2. A apple compote with cheddar and bacon, apple bacon with cream cheese, I think, as well. So they're nearly ready too. What do we think? I don't know which one to taste. Probably this one. This is the one we want to taste first, right? And focus. There we go. Obviously, the bacon doesn't make it look very nice, but nice layers. It is nice. The crunchiness of the bacon. It feels like it needs something. Like, it's buttery pastry with bacon and apple. I feel like it would be good with a cheddar or a cream cheese. Like, I feel like it just needs something to kind of, another element maybe. I don't think cream cheese is it. I think cheddar would have been better. Montana Max, welcome in. Good. The cherry cream cheese makes my previous comment about buying a plane ticket less and less of a joke. So from you, probably be, it's like a 36-hour journey, beware. What do you want? You want one of them? It's a bit of bacon. There you go, that's it. I'd never steer you wrong on unorthodox suggestions. No, I like it. That one looks good. Is that the most Danish looking one? Probably that one, right? Like, I see how the pastry comes up and kind of envelops the filling. I think. I really like the cream cheese. I said this before because of the saltiness. But the sweet and salty look goes well nice. All right. So, this is gone cool now, but this is from the first batch. Flaky pastry, so it could be cooked a little bit more. And we reduced the temperature. Cream cheese, cherry compote. Oh, I like the smaller ones because you can have them with the coffee and they're like single size. Like I probably wouldn't eat like a big one like this in one sitting. Oh. Yum. Yeah, you'd have to go west. Yum. Okay. Hey Google, do I have a timer?
No, you don't have any timer set at the moment.
Okay, let me just check the oven. Thanks for making my Danish. No worries. Thank you for the redemption. Delirium, I really, really have had so much fun. I love you guys redeeming stuff. Oh, okay, I think these ones will be ready too. Okay, move over. These ones were thinner, so they cooked a bit quicker. Oh, damn. Look at these. Look at that one. Look at, that is a big boy. I don't know if you guys can see how big that is. That is so thick. Look. Like, that's my hand. It's quite large. It's a big boy. Mini croquembouche. For what, Huffle? I like doing like technical stuff that I've never done before, and it tests my patience and my skills. The fried chicken. For the 1,000th stream, 1,000 cooking streams were nearing. Can you believe it? Look at that. What do we think? So savory and sweet. I think we did a good idea, a good job of not taking too many. There's still a little bit of dough in the fridge. Okay, I'm pretty keen to try a fried chicken one. We're gonna let them cool a little bit. And they've re-crisped. If you're in Australia, this is the takeout Nashville fried chicken. You just pop it in the oven. Look at that. That is bacon, apple compote with cheddar cheese. I think that's gonna be a winner. And look at those layers. Yum, 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 yum. So, who wants a Danish recipe on the Molly website? I think we work out something smaller portion, because we've still got leftovers, that makes maybe like 8 Danishes. Smaller portion, easy to follow recipe from the one that I made was a bit confusing, and I think the ratios were off a little bit. Called it BAC Danish. Bacon, apple, cheddar Danish. Yeah, buck. Fried chicken Danish is definitely a new one for me. Ready? Fried chicken, cream cheese, and a lot of layers. These ones here, the ones that I've just got out of the oven, aren't as fluffy because I didn't let them proof as long. They're still flaky and nice layers. I'm not unhappy. Ready? What?